Okay, Beatrice.
All righty, I'm on. Well, thank you, Rose. This is Rose Lee, my counterpart, whom I love and I'm so grateful to be working with. Welcome to Not Church. Welcome to Tranquilo Baja, which Not Church is under. Tranquilo Baja was started about 10 years ago by Anna Zimmerman and Nadine and a few others, Anna. And I'm sorry, I'm blacking out. Anyways, Not Church, welcome to Not Church, which is where you're at today. And Not Church was started as a way to feed ourselves spiritually, intellectually, and come together. And so we welcome you. We welcome everyone from any gender, any religion, any political view, any differences. We're here to learn from each other and love and support one another. So regardless of your background or your experience, positive or negative with churches, you are welcome. This is a place to come and learn and be fed wonderful things. And we have a wonderful speaker today. Our topic is going to be on abundance. And abundance means more than enough of what you need, whether it's love, money, whatever it is. Oftentimes people focus on money. So how many of you would like more financial abundance in your life? Welcome, Mickey. And money's a good thing. The more you have, the more you can give. But money is also a fascinating energy because money has no meaning, right? Money has no meaning. It's only the meaning we give it. And it's energetic. So sometimes you try to hang on to it because you're afraid to lose it. You don't want to go back if you were poor or just for whatever messages you received. But the more you give, the more that comes back to you because it's energy. And we're going to be learning a lot today about the law of spiritual abundance. And I just wanted to share a few things with you about financial abundance. It's really good to look at what your beliefs are about money when you have a chance. You know, just sit down and reflect on where you're at now, where you've been in your life. Are there any patterns that you've had? Because money, depending on what messages you received as a child, right? Oftentimes we have messages around money, that money is good or money's evil, or you shouldn't want money, you shouldn't want too much, you know, whatever those messages were for you. I'll give you an example. In my family, growing up, we didn't have a lot. We came here as immigrants, refugees. And my mother, whatever she had, she gave away. She was a very giving person. My father hung on to everything. He was always saving. And so I didn't realize that my message was, I didn't buy myself anything unless I needed it. And so it took me a while and working on this particular subject, because, you know, there's week-long seminars just around this. Today, you're going to get a taste, but there's week-long seminars looking at what programming did you get around money. And so I learned, you know, I'm okay. If I feel like something and I can afford it, sure, treat myself. You know, it's also for me, just self-love too, and valuing me. So there's one example. And then there's also a lot of thinking around money in terms of, like I mentioned, the messages you might have received, either from religion or your family. You know, well, money doesn't grow on trees. You know, what are some of yours that you remember hearing growing up?
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Ah, there you go. Yes, that's a good one. So there is a lot of that, right? And I realized too, in my family, at the time, my husband and I were really the most comfortable financially. So we had the parties and we had everything. And so I never thought I needed more. You know, I felt kind of bad wanting more because I felt like I already had so much. And then I realized, you know, the more work you do on this, right? The more you have, the more you can give. And why not? Why not be able to help more people, more causes, or enjoy it with your family? So money can also provide a lot of joy, a lot of love. I think it can help with stress because you can go get a massage. So there's a lot of good things about money. And like I mentioned, sometimes if we come from fear of, if we've had lack in our life and we come from that, oh, I don't want to be without, or having to grow up taking care of yourself. So you learn to not ask for help when you needed it, that there's always that, oh, I have to have some savings, I have to have that little security, right? So that I don't have to depend on anyone. So it's very fascinating. And I encourage you to take a moment when you have time and just kind of jot down, what messages did you receive from money? What did you observe? If you asked for something, did your parents get mad? Like, you don't need that. What do you want that for? Just what you're thinking is about money. And you can also look at your own patterns. What patterns have you had? Have you been someone that had a lot and lost it, or someone that never seems to have enough? Whatever the patterns are for you, to take a look at that. Because oftentimes the results you have in your life now are related to your thinking, right? Your thinking around money. And I just wanted to share with you, there's a gentleman called T. Harv Eker, named T. Harv Eker. I don't know if you know of him, but he's written books on the millionaire mind. And he does some wonderful seminars that are free. And they're weekend seminars. And one of the things I benefited from, there was a lot that I benefited from, but one of them was having a simple solution, a simple formula. I didn't have a simple formula for how much do I spend, how much do I save, and this kind of stuff. Because there are people that either spend too much and play too much and don't save, or people that save too much and then don't play and don't have money to play. And we have to have that balance. Both are important. So he has this simple formula where he says 10% of whatever you have, whatever you make, whatever income comes in, that you use for long-term expenses. So let's say big projects that you want to do that are going to take a little bit more money, or big expenses. You want to up your TV or whatever it may be for you. You save 10% for those things. And then another 10% has to be for fun and play. So that you have to use within 2 months, 2 to 3 months. So that what he also talks about is in relationships and couples, sometimes money can create so many issues, right? Especially if you have different spending habits than your partner. So one of the things he suggests is that you come up with, your play money, an amount that each of you will have every month, and you can do whatever you want with your money. So you can't say anything to him if he buys another car part, and they can't say anything to you if you spend it on whatever. That's just your play money. Because as you know, money can also be power, right? If you hang out to the money, or you're the one that has to be asked for permission to release the money, and all these other levels. And then 55% of the money that you have coming in should go towards your necessities. That would be your housing, your food, bills, etc. And then another 10% would be for investing purposes. So that's money you may not touch, you'll just watch it grow. And then another 10% would be for education or personal growth, because we need to keep growing, we need to keep learning, right? If we're not growing, we're decaying. And then he suggested 5% for tithing. Although you can adjust this a little, because I know some people feel more that it should be 10%, whatever you have, or I think it's in the Bible or something, that 10%, if 10% is the tithing. So again, that 10% energetically is what you're putting out, right? That's to support causes you believe in, organizations, etc. And you want to keep your money moving, right? You want to keep that energy flowing, coming to you and releasing. Because again, if you hang on to it and you try to hang on to it, it's going to go, right? Bills come in that you didn't expect, or something breaks, it happens. And once you start releasing and you can also start keeping track of how money comes to you, because sometimes money starts coming to us, you know, a little check from this lawsuit or a little thing from here. And, you know, just money can come to you from places you didn't even expect would come. And then you start seeing, well, yeah, the universe does send me money, you know, I'm taken care of. And that sense of trust is kind of tied in a little bit, right? Trusting that you're going to be taken care of, that the universe is going to provide for you. And again, in a responsible way, right? You're not going to give everything away. And then I know the universe is going to take care of me. So having that balance. So I hope that's a little helpful for you to begin thinking about, and give you some food for thought when you have a chance and you want to go deeper with this, and consider where you're at with your financial abundance, and wishing you all a lot of financial abundance. So with that, I'm going to introduce Benet, who's going to do our morning meditation.
Thank you, Beatrice. Good morning, everyone. So let's prepare for our meditation. I'm going to lead us through a guided meditation, staying with our theme of abundance. So let's go ahead and get comfortable in our seats. Let's sit erect with our backs against our chair, feet planted firmly on the ground, and placing our hands in our lap, palms up. And let's start by taking 3 deep breaths, breathing in through our nose and holding it at the top, and then breathing out through your mouth. One more, breathing in through your nose, holding it at the top, and then releasing through the mouth. One last time, breathe in through the nose. Hold it and release through the mouth. Feeling your body relaxing into your breathing. And as I mentioned, each body part, I invite you to bring your awareness to it and relax as deeply as you can. Bringing your awareness fully to the present moment. Let go of any busy thoughts preventing you from tapping into your inner essence. And now bringing your awareness to your body. Let the power of your mind melt any tension away. Starting at the top of your head, relax your scalp completely. Feel the skin of your forehead and temples relax. Allow your eye muscles to release, your jaw to soften, and let your ears, nose, and chin, teeth, tongue, and gums relax. Now let this peaceful feeling flow down your neck. Feel it soothing your throat and dissolve any tension on contact as it glides down to your shoulders, upper arms, forearms, wrists, and hands. And let this peaceful sensation of relaxation begin to fill your torso. Feel it relax your chest, giving your heart more room to grow, more expansive, more loving, giving, and forgiving. Soften your belly muscles and let this relaxation penetrate even deeper, releasing any tension from your internal organs. Now let it wrap around you, enveloping you in love and peace as it softens all the back muscles, all the way down to the base of your spine. Continue to breathe in deep, fluid breaths. Breathe in health, happiness, and harmony. Breathe out any tension, toxins, worries, or disease. Allowing anything that does not serve you to leave your body like a dark cloud. Send this peaceful feeling into your hips and buttocks. Let it glide down your thighs. Relaxing your legs completely as it flows down to your knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Allow any remaining tension from anywhere in your body to flow out your toes, leaving your whole body feeling very comfortable, peaceful, and relaxed. Continue to breathe deep, relaxing breaths, feeling your belly rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. And notice how the air feels cooler as you breathe in and warmer as you breathe out. Now, imagine a golden glowing ball of light about a foot above the crown of your head. On inhaling, breathe that light in through the top of your head, through the center line of your body, right down to the tailbone. And now exhaling, breathe that light back up the way it came and out the top of your head. Let's do this 3 more times to begin to balance and align your chakras. Breathe in that light through the top of your head, through the center line of your body, right down to the tailbone. Exhale, breathing that light back up the way it came and out the top of your head. Again, inhale, breathing that light in through the top of your head, through the center line of your body, right down to the tailbone. And exhale, breathing that light back up the way it came and out the top of your head. One last time, breathe that light in through the top of your head, through the center line of your body, right down to the tailbone. Now exhale, breathing that light back up the way it came and out the top of your head. Begin to focus on your root chakra at the base of your spine and visualize a vibrant red glowing ball of light. This chakra brings health, security, and dynamic presence. Feel it empower you as it connects you to earth energies.
I'm hearing something. There's a
You're radiating power and vitality.
something.
Breathe the color red in and out and see yourself living your healthy ideal, feeling happy and grateful for radiant health and boundless energy, weighing your perfect weight with a strong, balanced immune system. Feel how good it feels to have all the energy you need to do all the things you love to do. You feel so grateful for this magnificent body that moves so freely and well and looks so good. Feel yourself healthier than you've ever felt before. Now let this vibrant red chakra continue to glow and spin as you move up to your sacral chakra, located between your root chakra and your navel. Here, see a radiant glowing orange ball of light. This chakra holds the energy of money, power, sexuality, and creativity. Breathe in a rich, beautiful orange color and feel it bring the gifts of being happy, enthusiastic, sexually fulfilled, prosperous, and abundant. See yourself experiencing true wealth on every level, being grateful for the abundance in your life now. And imagine riches flowing to you in expected and unexpected ways. Let this chakra continue to glow and spin as you move up to your solar chakra, located a few inches above your navel. Here, see a beautiful sunny yellow glowing ball of light. As you visualize, breathe in a vibrant yellow color and feel it expand your joy, self-worth, and personal power. See yourself successful and deeply fulfilled in your dream job, location, space, purpose. Feel the glowing yellow chakra empower you as you move up to your heart chakra at the center of your chest, and visualize a beautiful emerald green glowing ball of light. This is the chakra of love for yourself and others. Let it glow, bringing gifts of compassion, self-acceptance, and the ability to love deeply. Breathe in green and let these feelings expand, seeing yourself living in perfect harmony with everyone in your life. Let it fill you with gratitude for this opportunity to live in this wonderful world. Feel your heart swell with compassion and forgiveness for yourself and others. Now let this chakra continue to glow and spin and gently move up to your throat chakra, located at your throat. Visualizing a beautiful blue color. This chakra enables you to communicate with truth and wisdom and express yourself with confidence. Breathing in and out this beautiful blue, see yourself happily expressing your uniqueness through a creative outlet you enjoy, such as singing, dancing, painting, creating, anything you do for fun and enjoyment. And let this chakra continue to glow and spin and gently move up to your third eye chakra, located at the center of your forehead. See a beautiful, deep purple, blue, indigo colored glowing ball of light. in your third eye. And as it glows, it expands your imagination, psychic abilities, inner knowing, and wisdom. Feel fully supported by the universe as you pursue your personal growth goals, happily following your highest path. Visualize yourself living your ideal in the personal growth area of your life, whatever that means to you. Now let this indigo light continue to glow and spin as you gently move up to your crown chakra at the top of your head. This is the chakra of spirituality, thought, and service to others. Breathe in violet, white, gold, or silver. And let this chakra glow as it brings gifts of self-knowledge, spiritual connection, and bliss. Visualize yourself living in wisdom and awareness, surrendering into divine love, joyfully contributing to the world in the way most meaningful for you. And let this chakra glow and spin as you bring your awareness back to the golden glowing light above your head. Watch as it transforms into a golden pot. Now breathe in through your crown chakra to your third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar and sacral chakra, right down to your root chakra. And on in exhalation, exhaling, breathe it back up the way it came. As it passes through each chakra, see the pot filling with gold coins, representing the gifts and attributes of each one. Now visualize this beautiful pot of gold above your head, once again overflowing with sparkling gold coins. This is your unique pot of gold, filled with everything you could ever want. Let them rain down on you. Recognizing in this peaceful state, visualizing all your dreams coming true as you finally lay claim to your pot of gold. And when you are ready, open your eyes and come back to your current surroundings. and enjoy this beautiful golden energy surrounding you.
And Doug, if you'd like to unmute and give us your reading.
Hey, thanks very much. I'll make this pretty quick. Anna and I both took Chellie's financial stress reduction course years ago, a long time ago. I don't know when it was, but it's the angst around money is something that most everyone experiences at some point, unless you lead a life where you barter for everything. At some point, you have to deal with money, and she, in her very personable way, just deals with the whole thing very, very directly and really wonderfully. And one of the things that stayed with me about her course was the idea of sending out ships. In the days of clipper ships, merchants would send out a ship, and 2 years later, that ship would come back laden with spices, which of course were currency at the time. And Chellie's message, and then you would reap the rewards of your investment of sending the ship out. And Chellie's message was not to wait until your ship comes in, but to keep sending them out, because if you don't send them out, you're not going to have any of them come back. So that was something that always stayed with me. But Anna and I are going to tag team this introduction. The best way for me to do this is to read a piece from Chellie's book. This is The Wealthy Spirit. And there are, 365 of these stories. So you get the idea of how they should be used. This one is called The Waitress and the Short Order Cook. And it's preceded by a quote saying, "Two men look out through the same bars. One sees the mud and one the stars." The waitress has worked here since time began. Ageless and calm, her eyes see through to the end of the world. She smacks her gum, gives the customer a lopsided grin, and smoothly asks in her professional voice, "May I take your order now?" She stands there expectantly, pencil poised to write on her order pad. "I don't know exactly what I'm hungry for. I can't make a mistake. I'm really sorry this is taking so long. I'm so stupid." In discomfort and confusion, the customer gropes for the right words and the right order. "One don't, one can't, and my side order of shame," the waitress hollers to the cook. He stands behind the counter, ready to serve up another batch of cold reality. He's heard this order before. In a second, the plate is prepared. "I really want to help people. I don't care about the money," the customer explains. "Hold the money," the waitress hollers. The cook silently removes the money from the plate. A new customer bursts into the diner. "I'll have the talent, drive, and determination to be a top caliber professional writer. I write a book that helps many people and easily makes me rich and famous." The waitress laughs and gives the order to the cook. "One successful bestseller smothered in money and a side order of fame." "It's already been delivered," smiles the cook. This is Earth's universal diner, where you always get exactly what you ask for. Would you like to change your order?
Well, that's my favorite story from one of my favorite books. And I think it's been a little more than 20 years since Doug and I took Chellie's course. And we, at the time, as Doug says, we were financially aligned for the most part, but when we got there, it really deepened our alignment. And I had met Chellie in Los Angeles at a women's networking group. And that's where I learned about her work, and we happened to take it. And then, 20 years later, here we are, still fans of Chellie's and doing well financially and not feeling guilty about it. And that was part of it. I know, because at the time I was exploring spirituality and I was creating a spiritual practice. And I was starting to feel kind of guilty about the fact that I did well financially. And so Chellie's class really helped me understand, as Beatrice was saying this morning, that we give from our abundance. And the more abundance we have, the more we can do for others. And that's a just joyful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. So Chellie's bio is fascinating, and I encourage you to go to ChellieCampbell.com and look it over. But I think I've said enough for now because we're not going to give her much time to speak if we don't let her speak now. So my great pleasure to welcome Chellie Campbell.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be here and to see you guys again. And can I take you everywhere I go to introduce me, please? It's so lovely. So Henny Youngman, an old comic, said, "I have all the money I'll ever need as long as I die by 4 o'clock." So I always thought that was pretty hysterical and pretty true. And I have an 8-week program. I've written this book, which is a page a day for every day of the year. I was asked to do a 1-day program. I did a 1-day. I was asked to do a 2-hour program. I did a 2-hour program. Today I got 20 minutes, I think. I'm sure that someday I'm just going to show up, say prosper, and go home. And it'll work. So let me give you a little bit of background, which was I grew up in the 60s, went to high school and college in the 60s. My father was an aerospace scientist, got his degree at MIT with straight A's. And so in my house growing up, it was rocket science. But more than that, his reading material for fun was science fiction and fantasy. And I lapped it up. I did not have the scientific mathematical brain. I was singing, dancing, acting brain, okay, English. And I saw that the choices for work were nurse, secretary, teacher, right? Women, do we remember this? And none of that interested me. I was very outside the box. The only thing I could see that wasn't working inside of a box, working in some corporation, was being an actor and singing and dancing for a living. So I went to UC Santa Barbara with a major in drama. I did a show with Michael Douglas, who was attending there at the same time. And I have to tell you, I got some physical therapy earlier this year with a 29-year-old physical therapist. And his girlfriend was an actress. And I said, "Oh, I used to do that." I went to school with Michael Douglas. And he said, "Who's that?" And I went, "Oh, my one claim to fame, no good." Okay, so I did come to Hollywood. I did work. I never became a star or anything like that, but I worked and I got a gig out at Disneyland. I remember one of them was 5 shows a day, 5 days a week for 9 months. I thought I would die of boredom. I said, this is not working out. So what I thought it was going to be is not it. And I fell into a job that was just secretarial because I still got to pay the rent, right? Meanwhile, I'm auditioning on the side. And then their office manager quit and they offered me that job. I said, "That's finance. I don't know anything about that." They said, "We'll teach you, you'll learn it." And I went, okay. I figured it's another acting job. I'll pretend like I know finance. So I took it and I loved it. And I started turning down auditions, and that was it. That was the end. Eventually, I was hired to run a small bookkeeping service. I became a partner, and then I bought the partners out. Then I noticed I had 13 employees and a lot of clients who didn't understand how the money worked. And I thought, oh, I've got some tips and tricks and tools. And like Beatrice was talking about T. Harv Eker with the percentages of how you keep the money. I was fortunate enough that my mother, whenever we wanted to spend money, she had a system of envelopes. And she like took dad's paycheck. I mean, all the women on my street growing up were mothers, housewives, did not work outside the home, took the payroll check from the father and distributed it in the envelopes. And the envelopes were clothing, school activities, entertainment, stuff like that. All the discretionary expenses. And whenever we came home from school and wanted something, she'd say, well, let's go to the envelopes. And she would sit us down on her bed, get the envelopes. And if there was money for the class ring in there, we could have it. But it was a choice. If you took that, you weren't going to have something else for the rest of the month. And I really got it. Well, sometimes you could trade. She goes, well, there's nothing in that category, but we could take it from clothing or we could take it from entertainment, but that's no movies this month. So I really got it that there was a finite amount of money and there were choices as to how you were going to spend it. I went, okay. However, there was never a conversation about how the money got in the envelope and how you could get more in the envelope. I know dad had a job, I was going to have to get a job. I didn't want to get a job. I wanted to sing and dance. But when I got jobs that were in my realm of fun, entertaining, and doing good, see, those are the three things for me. Do good, have fun, make money. All three of those are in, you're going to have a happy life, right? And what we all have to remember to do is be grateful for all the things we have now. If you're always complaining and whining and moaning, I don't have enough money, and why are the rich richer than me, and they're all mean and crabby, if that's what you think, you're not going to allow money into your life because it would make you a crabby and unspiritual person. So I began to see as I'm working with all these things that the wealthy people had no spirit and the spiritual people were all broke. What's wrong with this picture? So I said, I think the spiritual people ought to have the most money because they're going to do good with it. And the wealthy people have a lot of money and they need to get better at the spiritual side of things because they are not having fun. Have you ever noticed all these billionaires out there? They all want to be the #1 billionaire. They can't possibly spend billions of dollars. They just go park it somewhere where other people don't get to get it. It's a broken game. It's a broken game. And this whole save for retirement thing, well, this is part of my acting background. I am not a financial planner. I don't talk about investments. I don't care about investments. That's not it. If you can create regular sources of income and wealth in other arenas, it doesn't matter. Okay. But all you hear from financial planners and banks and stockbrokers and all the people who are supposed to be the money professionals is save for retirement. Am I right or am I right? Yeah. Okay, so save for retirement. But I noticed people who saved all their life for retirement, and now it's time to relax and enjoy and go spend money. But that pot of money they spent their whole life saving starts decreasing. What happens then? They're terrified. They're afraid. Oh my God, I can't spend any money. So that trip they were waiting to take, they don't take it then either. So I know what you have to do is you have to be living your life now, because I was never afraid of running out of money when I'm old. I was terrified that I would die not having lived with a pot full of money that was going to go to somebody else. That terrified me. Okay. So I say you got to save some, but it doesn't have to be this enormous amount, this hedge against security. Security is a myth. There's no such thing. You could get hit by a car tonight, right? You could just pass out in your sleep and go to the next realm. It's just live for today, live in the now. T. Harv Eker talks about it, the power of now. But so did Baba Ram Das in the 60s. Be here now. Be here now. Don't be so far ahead of each day or so living in the past that you're regretting things that happened. The good part of the past is to enjoy the things that happened and relish even the bad stuff. Oh, I've had bad stuff. But the trick with life is that you're going to have good things and you're going to have bad things. And then it's like, okay, what's the next adventure? It's all an adventure. It's all fun. I talk about all of this stuff, all the losses, all the terrible times, and all of the wins and the good times in the pages of my book. I had to make it a page a day for every day of the year because I have so many stories. So now I had thought a lot about what I'm going to talk about today and everything. But I never use PowerPoint because I cannot stick to the subject. Because early on, when I started giving speeches, when I started teaching workshops, I go, oh, well, I got to give speeches at all these groups. And it was terrifying. Now, I was used to playing a part. I could get up and sing and do a musical part. But to be myself and talk about my ideas was horribly confronting in the beginning. And then I went to give a speech to 100 women. And the title of it was Financial Stress Reduction. And it was recessionary period. It was 1991. And I was doing the me. Oh, I have a bad hair day. I spilled coffee on my suit. I hope they like me. I hope I don't screw up my words, you know. And then I got to the front of the podium and I took a moment and I looked out at the audience. And I saw all these people leaning forward, looking anxious and hopeful. At the same time, I got a hit. And I looked around at a couple of people and they had the same look. And I went, oh, shoot, this isn't about me. This is about them. They came to hear financial stress reduction and they hope to God that I have something that can help them. And I went into prayer immediately. I said, God, please put the words in my mouth that need to be heard tonight to help somebody. And I felt chakras. I felt all the fear like a river drain out of the crown, down my toes, out my fingers. And I was left so quiet and filled with energy. And I just let it, I don't know what I said. I didn't know what I said after I said it. I just channeled. But I hit some of the points I needed to hit. And people gave me a standing ovation. And I will tell you that I say that prayer every day since that day. So since 1991, I've been saying that. So I offer it to you. It's a wonderful thing. Just step aside, let spirit take over. And you'll say what's right for the people who are in front of you. See, I couldn't know until I was here with you to see you and feel your energy and hear some of you speak what I needed to say today. But I'm going to give you permission to make a lot of money. Now, the spiritual side of my search, because I started questioning early on because I'm outside the box, right? So I go to church and Sunday school every Sunday, Methodist, you know, basic generic Christianity is what I say. And they did a Passover Seder at Easter. And they said, well, the Last Supper was a Passover supper. And I went, Jesus was Jewish. And they said, yeah, we've told you that all along. I said, I know, but practicing Judaism, like he celebrated all the holidays. He went, the Sabbath was Saturday. Where do we take this out? This was not a popular question. They didn't really want to answer that one. So they just sort of went, well, blah, 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 blah. And I started looking around at that point. I started saying, well, and then my Catholic friends next door, they think different things. One of them said to me once, well, only Catholics are children of God. I went crying home to Mom. Susie says only Catholics are children of God. She goes, no, dear, live a good life, go to heaven. And that's when I started looking around, well, the Buddhists think something different and the Jewish family down the street thinks something different. And what's the truth anyway? Well, I did a lot of study, and I'll just tell you, I came to discover, for me, the truth is, I believe in a God that sends many messengers. Mothers know this, right? You don't tell your kids the truth one time, do you? And then, they're supposed to remember 10 years ago you said the truth and practice it every day. No. So I just believe in everything. I gave a talk once at a bookstore. Remember them? And it was at a Barnes and Noble. And it was The Wealthy Spirit had just come out. And this man comes up to me afterwards. I was signing books. He comes by my table and he's pacing and he says, "So I got to ask you a question." I said, "What?" He said, "Are you a Christian?" And I said, "Yes." And he stopped pacing. He goes, "And what?" I said, "And Jewish and Hindu and Buddhist and everything else, spiritual. I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and the Mother, the Daughter, and women's intuition." He goes, "I've never heard this question answered like that." I said, "Well, you never met me before, but here I am, and I do." So that's sort of my take on the whole thing. I think all religions are living and breathing, and they all have the golden rule in them. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's when they get into all the dogma and all the rules, and a lot of that is anti-woman. So sorry, it just is. Back in 2,000 years ago, women were second-class citizens. Really, women have been property for forever. I remember when I got married in the 70s to an actor, I had been working in an office to pay the rent, and I had a Bank of America card. And when I got married, I asked for another card for my husband, and they said, no, your card is canceled. You have to reapply with your husband. And then they denied it to me because my husband was an actor and had a spotty income. Well, at the time, Dennis Weaver was the president of the Screen Actors Guild and was doing commercials for Bank of America. So I wrote him a letter, which I still have. I wrote him a letter and said, my husband and I were just turned down by Bank of America for credit cards because of being actors. So I just want you to know we don't think the president of our union should be doing commercials for this company. 3 days later, I got a 2-page letter, a copy of a letter that Dennis Weaver's attorneys sent to Bank of America arguing this. And 2 days after that, I got a call from the president of Bank America. And he said, I understand you've had a problem. I said, yes, I have. And he said, what can we do for you? We want to help. And I said, well, I'd like a Bank America card. He goes, you'll have one tomorrow. And I did. It's all very interesting. But here are the things. You've got to do positive thinking, positive affirmations about money. And I have them on my website. My website is Chellie.com. Not ChellieCampbell.com, it's Chellie.com. Chellie. You can see it right there. And I have affirmations and how to say them and how to use them. And I give my fabulous 14 absolutely amazing abundance affirmations. And I'm telling you, they work. They've been working forever for so many people. I just recently had a woman that I met networking. She goes, okay, I got your book. I started reading it and I'm doing those affirmations. And oh my God, seriously? Is this all I had to do? I just got my first 3-month client. And she was making a lot of money. Now, when I was trying to get a book deal, because I wanted to do the whole 9 yards, get an agent and get a publisher and that whole thing. And I got turned down a lot. Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen, I took their weekend course on how to build your speaking and writing empire. And I just followed the instructions. Everything you want to know in life, somebody has written the instruction book. Just go follow the instructions. So I did. So I finally got this editor at Sourcebooks very interested. And my agent said, well, she wants to change some stuff. And I said, well, like what? So she says, well, call her. She wants to talk to you. So we had this meeting and we got acquainted. And I said, well, Lisa says you want to change some stuff. Like what? She said, well, first of all the affirmations have to come out. And I'm thinking, oh, this is another no. This woman is not publishing my book. But I got feisty at this point. And I said, oh, yeah, why do you think that? She goes, Chellie, there are 97 affirmation books out there. I can't go to my 40 salespeople and say we're doing another affirmation book. I said, oh, you think everybody knows this already? She goes, yeah. I said, well, let me ask you a question. She goes, what? I said, are you doing them? She goes, I said, are you doing positive affirmations about money specifically every day? She goes, no. I said, well, that's my point. People know about it, but they're not doing it. That's the sending out of ships part, right? You can know all this stuff and you can decide, oh, yes, I'm spiritual and it's good to make money and forget about it. But if you don't do something that provides a service or a product that's good to other people so that they have an avenue to pay you, it's not going to happen. And you got to send out more than one ship because stuff happens to ships. There's Pirates of the Caribbean, mutiny on the Bounty, and we all know what happened to the Titanic. So some of the ships aren't coming home. That's why you got to keep sending them out. And then you'll have all of a sudden one day there'll be the Spanish Armada all coming in loaded with treasure for you. So you have to believe it. You say it until you believe it, like Jim Carrey when he wanted to be a movie star. He used to go to the hills of Hollywood and just say, I'm a famous movie star and I make 20 million a picture. And he said it until he believed it. Okay, so you have to get past that part of your brain that says, this will never work. This is so woo-woo, airy-fairy. Well, you got to be woo-woo, airy-fairy. And you have to do the practical thing about making the money. Because the people that just want to do the affirmations and nothing else, I just go, uh-huh. And how many affirmations do you think you'd have to say in front of a piano before you could play it? Sort of makes it clear, doesn't it? In real Church of Religious Science, all the practitioners say, treat and move your feet. Okay, so do that. How much time have I got? Am I over time yet?
Chellie, you just keep talking as long as you want. If people have to go, they'll go, but we're loving it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I have more. What else? Oh, I am one of the luckiest people on the planet. Say that as an affirmation, okay? And I can prove it because I have statistics. I play poker. That's one of the things I love doing, okay? It's risk-reward ratios. It's mathematical. You can figure things out. You can also read people, see if they're strong or if they're weak. And sometimes you have good luck and sometimes you have bad luck. Well, in the casinos locally, they have what's called a bad beat jackpot. Like you have an astonishingly good hand, like 4 of a kind, say 4 5s, and that automatically is like 99.9% you're going to win with that hand. But every now and then somebody has 4 jacks and beats 4 9s, okay, or 4 5s. So they have what's called a bad beat jackpot. And the person that got beat with this superior hand gets 50% of the money. And the person that beat them gets 25%. And the rest of the players at the table who were in the hand split the other 25%. So it's one of my favorite things, which is a group win. And everybody screams when it happens and pats each other on the back and people come running from all over the casino. So I'm sitting at a table once and this guy is talking about, oh, it'd be good to win the jackpot today. And I went, yeah. And he says, but I've only gotten a couple of table shares in the 10 years I've been playing. And another guy chimed in and said, well, I've been playing for 20 years and I've never even won a table share. And I said, oh, well, in the past 10 years, I've won 14 jackpots and 15 table shares. And they looked at me and they go, do you understand how outside the realm of probability that is? I said, yes, I do. But I'm about getting outside the probability. When you believe in your intent, there was one time when I was getting ready for my third book and I needed more money to promote it with. And they had this jackpot and it was $40,000. And so half of it would be 20,000. And you know what? I just gave marching orders to the universe. I said, look, I want that $20,000 and I want it today. And I had such intensity and energy. I could feel it. Said, you deliver that today. And I went down to play poker. And yes, I won the jackpot in 3 hours, the 20,000. What are the odds of this? The Women's Poker Association, when they formed and did their first conference in 2018, they invited me to speak. So I talked about that. And then I went to play in the tournament and I said to them, I said to God, I had a little conversation with God. I said, you know, if all of this is true, make it me win the tournament today. So I did. So, I mean, now, one of the things about making money is this. Financial stress reduction is earn more money, spend less money, or find another way to have what you want. So in a dark time where I had a business failure and I had to give up my condo because they were selling them for 90,000 and I owed 160,000 on it and I had to just give it up. I went to play in a little nickel dime quarter women's poker game that I had been playing in for several years. And they all knew I had told them what I was going through. And they said, so where are you going to live now? And I said, I have no idea. And Barbara looked up and said, well, you ought to move in here with Chellie. And Chellie looks up from her cards and says, yeah, you could live here. Now I look around and it's a $3 million home in Brentwood, 2-story, gorgeous, autumn colors, beautiful art on the walls. And I said, that would be lovely. How much rent do you want? And she goes, how about $200 a month? And I said, okay. That was 28 years ago. I am still there. Okay. Because we were both divorced women. We both dated for a while. And then we just found being a roommate was really fun. And you have all the companionship you want. And we have had so many arguments. The arguments we have had, 0. Okay, just meant to be. And I just say, I accept this gift from the universe and I'm going to do good by it. I'm going to spread the word and give other people hope that may not know exactly how they can make the money, but just let a gift fall down upon you. That happens too. Now, I wrote a whole book on women and money. If you want to look up, the reason I wrote it, because women are still behind the 8 ball and don't make as much money as men. And men might be interested in this too, because you want to know what women are up against sometimes. And a lot of it is interior and cultural programming. And the cultural programming is, I need to be nice and feminine. And if I argue, then I'm outside the culture norm and I'm not liked. So women are always about this. And I read a really important book. It was called Women Don't Ask. And it was written by an economics professor at Carnegie Mellon University. And she said she had a group of women graduate students come to her and complain because the men were getting all the teaching assignments and they had to be their assistants. And this woman says, oh, that doesn't sound fair. Let me go talk to the man who gives out the assignments and find out what's going on. So she explained it to him. And he said, Terry Breyer says CMU is my alma mater. All right, Terry. Yeah. So she tells the man, the professor who gives out the teaching assignments about the problem. And he looks at her in surprise and says, well, I give the teaching assignments to everyone who asks for them. The women just don't ask. Okay. So in negotiating a salary, in picking a price to charge for your services, women go to the lowest number. Women figure out what's the least amount of money I can charge and still live, especially if you're spiritual, because I mean, you could be asking for so much money that people can't afford it. And then you're being bad and wrong to not give it to them because they can't afford it. That's so terrible. Listen, you can't charge $1 for something because somebody doesn't have $1. Okay. You've got to charge for the area, the realm of clients that can use what you have to give most effectively. So sometimes that's a higher income level person. Now, I'll give you one final little example that you can use. I had an experience in a workshop where there was a man who was a composer for motion pictures. And he said he wanted two things out of the workshop. He wanted a new agent and he wanted to raise his price. He wanted to get more money. So he comes in like week 3 and says, I did it. I got a new agent. And we all cheered. And then he said, but I'm probably never going to work again now. And I went, wait, time out. Where'd that come from? And he said, well, the new agent, I get $150,000 to score a motion picture. And this new agent wants to ask for $200,000. I just don't think I can get that. I said, well, wait. Doesn't John Williams get paid millions to score it? And he goes, oh yeah, if you're John Williams. And I said, well, John Williams wasn't all John Williams all the time either. He started out low. Well, I guess. Well, yeah. So here's the problem. You've gotten comfortable with this number. So think of the number you've gotten comfortable with. Okay, you've gotten comfortable with this number. So to raise it feels like it's too much, because you're not used to it. Trust me, if you said, I charge $50, people would say, no, that's too much because of the way you said it. So you have to increase your ability to say 200,000. So this is my suggestion. Take whatever number that you want to be able to charge and double it. So for him, it was $400,000. I said, now, 20 times a day for the next week, you have to say, I charge $400,000 to score a motion picture. Say it. And he goes, I charge. He couldn't even get 400,000 out of his mouth. I said, I made him do it until he could say it. I said, okay, 20 times a day. Are you willing? He said, yeah. So he comes back the next week and I said, did you do the exercise? He goes, yep, I charge $400,000 to score a motion picture. And he said it really great. And I said, that's fabulous. Now, how does 200,000 sound? He looked me dead in the eye and he said, doesn't sound like enough. And that's what happens. You want to be able to say the number with positivity, like throw it away, like I only charge this. It's only that. If people are scared of the number, okay, they're scared of the number. Next. We're sending out ships, right? Not all the ships are coming in. So that's the little exercise I'd love to give people, because if you practice that, you'll have a different relationship yourself to the number. And then when you say it to somebody, they'll get the hit from you energetically that this is not a large number because you don't think it is. And my roommate told me once about a man who had a group of bungalows, beautiful bungalows on the beach, and he kept lowering the price because he was having trouble renting them. So it was $49 a night. And he finally hired a consultant. He goes, I can't sell these even at $49 a night. And the consultant said, oh, that's way too little. No wonder. They think something's wrong with it. Charge $249 a night. The guy goes, I can't even sell it at $49 a night. How can I sell it? Well, you're going for a different market. Just do it. So he put $249 and sold out that week. You know, you got to be within the realm, because if you're too high, I mean, some people can't afford it, but some people can. You just got to reach that market. If it's too low, people will think something's wrong with it. If it's too good. And remember, if it's free, people are not going to pay attention. I learned about that. When you have a free event, 50% of the people who say they're going to come are not going to come. All right. And if you charge for it, even just a little bit, more people will come. More than that, they'll pay attention. So I've tried it. I've had, relatives pay for somebody else to come to the class. But since they didn't have any skin in the game, they came, they laughed at the jokes, but they didn't do the work and they didn't change anything about their financial condition. So, and then I had a woman who couldn't afford the class, and she came to me and she said, I only make $1,500 a month on disability, but I know you help my friend Susie, so help me. Can you help me? I don't know how I'll pay you, but I'll get you paid. And I just saw her energy. I believed it. I said, okay, payment plan. She had me paid off in 8 weeks in full. She found people, she had an energy that could do sales, and people hired her to do sales over the phone. So there's a million miracles that can happen. Now, besides the 8-week programs, the thing I'm really liking right now, that is the way that my business is headed, is I have the Wealthy Spirit group on Facebook. And I do a 10-minute video every day, Monday through Friday, from the pages of the Wealthy Spirit. So I give lessons, I give affirmations, I'm building a community. I have about 160 people right now, and I love it so much. It's $47 a month. But if any of you are interested, I'll give you a golden ticket for a free month. So all you have to do is send me an email, Chellie@Chellie.com, and I will give you the golden ticket. Or you could messenger me on Facebook. That's easy to do too. Send me a friend request. Love to be your friends. You're all fabulous. So I'll end with Mae West. Mae West said, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. But 5 will get you 10 if you know how to work it. So work it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chellie. If we have any time for questions.
Yeah, questions.
Well, Chellie, I'm Sunny, and
Hi,
I don't
Sunny.
know you, but I'm very impressed. I had such fun,
Yeah.
and I just loved it. I hope there's some way we can get access to this entire session again, because Bené's meditation was amazing as well. Thank you all.
It really was.
Thanks, Sunny.
Okay, I'm going to give a shout out. Hi, Chellie, it's Mickey.
Hi, how are you, Mickey? I
How
didn't
are
even
you?
recognize you over there.
I know. Well, I live in Mexico now, so it's different.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Anyway, Dale and I took her class, I don't know, many years ago. And it was so helpful. And, I realized that we've slipped a little. And I know that I still have all your information and all your stuff. And it was like Dale and I were just talking about it. And I'm pulling it out again so that we can regroup. But when we did it, and while we did it and did all those affirmations, it was amazing how much our life changed.
Yeah.
And what I could say is don't take it for granted and don't stop, because we did for a little bit. Actually, we did for a while, and we got a little lost, and we're here and starting over in a different way.
Yay.
And so I got the stuff back out. Actually, we were just talking about it today because we were just reading something yesterday about, anyway, the spirituality of money. And I so believe in that. And I just want to say that Chellie is amazing. Her class is amazing. And you guys all see her energy. And she was like that, I don't know, 15 years ago. I don't know how long ago we did it. And I've been in many groups with her, and she's amazing. So do you still have your gold tennis shoes? She wears these.
Oh.
See, now that I'm online all the time, it's not, the gold shoes don't work as well.
Well, I remember them.
It was a great branding tool. Every time people see gold shoes, they send me pictures of them. It's awesome.
I know. Well, you haven't changed a bit, and I'm so grateful that you were here today.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad. And yes, this is something like brushing your teeth. You don't get to stop. You have to reform it every day, do affirmations every day. What's my shift? And let me speak this about retirement too, because I think partly it comes from my background as an actor. Have you ever heard of an actor say, gee, I can't wait till my retirement fund is full so I don't have to do these damn movies anymore? No, because when you love it, you're going to do it forever. Dame Judi Dench, I read her autobiography called And Furthermore. She was 79 when she wrote it. And she said, people ask me if I'm going to retire. No, people retire to do what they love. I'm doing what I love now. And there's always going to be a part for an old lady in a wheelchair or whatever. It's like, I love that there's a Facebook and a group system that I could get people from all over the place and talk every day, and they come to listen to me. I'm in heaven. I feel like I have my own TV show. And happy to have it.
Mickey, where in Mexico are you?
We're in, I don't know how familiar you are with it. We're in Descanso.
Oh, you mean you're in Baja?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We're in La Misión.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Winifred. I see her.
Yes, it's nice to see you, Mickey.
And Beatrice, I know well, and I adore her. And I see Aranda in the background, who's very quiet.
Oh, that's
And Benet, she's amazing.
Yes.
And Mickey is Sherry's sister.
I am.
And what's Sherry's last name again? I forgot.
Oh.
Jay.
Sherry J. Right.
Yeah.
I see Arthur has his hand up, so are you trying to get a word in, Arthur?
Oh, you're muted, Arthur.
I would, yes, well, first of all, yeah, I just wanted to both ask a question and make a comment. First of all, it was excellent to hear your talk, especially the second part about how you price items that you have. I've always, in my personal life, I've always had great abundance, never really having to, well, I work constantly to save the world, make a better world, but I never really actually worked making money, and I've always been fine, abundant that way in my personal life, just unbelievable the way. My daughter, I remember when she was young, she said, how come, Dad, we don't make any money and we have everything we need? I don't know. But anyway, we just, the universe was always providing, it was great. But, and you know, I made this film, The World Is My Country. This week we have some amazing directors we're interviewing. We had a big showing with 600 people of The Day After, and Nicholas Meyer, who made the movie The Day After, which is an incredible cautionary tale about the risk
I
of
remember that movie.
Yeah, he also made the visionary tales, the Star Trek 2, 4, and 6 he worked on. And I don't know if you saw 4 about saving the whales, but you know, some incredibly visionary, positive movies. And we have Jeff Daniels this week, who did a television event about the incredible impact that Day After had. I mean, that movie literally saved the world. Ronald Reagan was believing his generals when they were telling him he could fight and win a nuclear war, and they were egging him on, and he was heading in that direction. And I interviewed one of those generals. He's incredible. He's in my film, War Without Winners, and they really believe this stuff. And Reagan said when he saw that movie, he knew you couldn't win a nuclear war. And he negotiated reducing weapons with the Soviets, and we actually have been reducing weapons until now when they're exploding with new buying bombs and everything and building it up. But in any case, so we're talking, the television event is an incredible thing, and I'm hoping everybody will come this Wednesday and next Wednesday. I'll put it in the chat afterwards. But the challenge I have, and that I want to ask you about, is not my personal abundance, but abundance in getting our film, The World Is My Country. We have just incredible reviews from people who love it. It touches their lives. It changes them. It's great stuff. But you know, like right now, we're putting it out free for this month. We haven't been able to do what you said. Is somehow price what we have in a way that's bringing the abundance to get this film out all over the world. The World is My Country is an incredible visionary story. Anna and some of the others here know it, and Doug, and the impact it has. So I would love to get your help with getting the kind of abundance in my in the work I'm doing, which is, it was all unpaid. I mean, I couldn't raise the money for this without selling my home in DC. So it's been personally putting money out, but not my family home, but not bringing money into the life passion I have, which is basically saving the world. So through film and through exactly what you said, entertainment. You mentioned that it has to be fun and entertaining.
I'm out because you said, well, I couldn't have raised the money without selling my home or whatever it is you said there. And that's a thought that is in there about what limits you.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got to change the thought and practice an affirmation. And let me tell you, affirmation number 6 in my list is my affirmations work for me, whether I believe they will or not.
Absolutely.
Because we have to handle the, this can't possibly work, rational brain. Now, what you have to do is change the way you're looking at it, change the direction of your thoughts, because you're trying to sell the movie one by one to the audience. That's not how movies are sold. Movies are sold to Netflix. Movies are sold to big, huge charities, philanthropies with rich people to invest. You need to get investors.
Yeah, well, we can talk more about the details of what to do it. I mean, I am doing a couple of courses on ways to fund it. We did get it out on PBS stations and on Link TV, using the idea of getting sponsors to pay for putting it on. But I would like to talk to you maybe more later about this.
Sure.
So I love what you're doing, and I will try to put in the chat the info if people want to come join us on these incredible interviews coming up this week. And welcome and appreciate your reminding me. I did read Think and Grow Rich when I was a high school student, and took the Dale Carnegie course and all that stuff. And it did help, doing those affirmations made an incredible impact in my life. But now I need to step it up to a much higher level. So
yeah, it's hard for me too. I know what you're talking about because I'm looking at where am I just selling one by one instead of going to some affiliate kind of thing where somebody's got 1 million people that could tell them about my group, and maybe I'd sell 1% and that'd still be a nice living for me, you see. So, but
yeah, we've got
harder for me
Unify
to
joining
follow
us.
up.
Unify has 1 million members, and they're joining us in these programs this week. So maybe we'll end up doing a course with them or with the Shift Network or whatever. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm just trying to be really mindful of our time because it's
Oh, good.
11:05 and we normally do an hour session, but everybody's been very gracious with their time. And I just want to honor that if we're okay moving on, or if it's time to wind down. And Rose, did you have some announcements?
Well, only because next month Winifred is our speaker, and Winifred is here. So we're excited about that, and we're talking about wellness next month. So please come and join us. And Chellie, thank you so much. And I do believe if you go to tranquilo.com on the page, her email is on there and you can email her. I think she said, go ahead. And also her website is there. So please, everyone, email, go to the website, get the affirmations, and let's have more abundance. And guess what?
Yes.
Today is National Relaxation Day. Who knew? So we have permission to go longer today because all we have to do today is relax. Thank you, Chellie. And
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful. I love you all.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
truly. That was good.
Thank you, everyone.
And I'm going to stop the recording unless anyone else has got a final word to say.
I just want to say thank you to Benet. That was a wonderful meditation.
It was
Yeah.
a good meditation. Thank you.
And I want to say I love that. And I love Doug and Anna's story. That was so cool. And I did put it in the chat. You just go to the worldismycountry.com and click on our podcast, and you'll be able to join these upcoming things. So events we're having. And so, yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Benet. That was a lovely meditation. Thank you.
And Chellie, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This was delightful. You're all fabulous.
You too.
Bye, Chellie. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Bye.